All right, guys, let's have a crack at this week, shall we? Um, there's a lot of what's up this week. A lot, a lot. This is officially the weekly What's Up for the week of October 12th through the 18th, 2020. Yeah, 2020. And this is the heat of it, okay? I don't know how to couch it any more kindly. This is definitely the heart of the year that is 2020. We start this week with 3 big giant squares in opposition and Mercury retrograde, yes, and a new moon. Let's be fair. So there's just a whole lot going on this week. So let's start with the astrology and see if we can get any cards to come out here. So right now we have. Why, thank you. What a perfect card for the beginning of this week. So starting this week out, we've got in the sky currently, we have the Sun opposing Mars, and each of them are squaring Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, right? The Sun is will, it's vitality, it's you, and yourself, your ego. And then Mars is that outward push of energy, right? What you're going to do with yourself and your energy. And then we've got, that's funny. Then we've got them both in opposition, squaring Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn. And so Jupiter's about expansion, right, and growth. Jupiter is, he's about blessings and the big guns. He's our big benefic, our kind of symbolic sky daddy, right? That would be Jupiter. And then we've got Pluto, who is the Lord of transformation, right? Pluto's all about transformation and what lies beneath, right? What's underneath everything, hidden motives, hidden realms, right? That's the underworld. And then we've got Saturn, who is the Lord of karma, right? Balancing. And so to have all 3 of those, of course, we know they're all in conjunction, which means their energies are amplified, right, by one another. So we're talking about expanding our transformation in alignment with our karma, or as a consequence of our karma. And I can tell you, I've been talking about this for a very long time. All of the astrologers that I know have been talking about it for a very long time. Anybody who's familiar with energy, right, has been feeling this and talking about it. And so again, this is the crux of 2020 here in October. So in addition to this lovely T-square with the Sun opposing Mars, squaring those big giant 3 planets, we also have Uranus coming into trine with Venus, and we've got Mars is going to trine the moon, right? So those are a little bit of like blessings, right? We're looking for that kind of blessing, especially in this kind of energy. Thank you. So on Tuesday, Mercury goes retrograde, right? Again, we've got Saturn opposite Mars. So this is about, your will, your person, being in opposition to the energetic, right? So it's about disagreements. It's about natural adversity. It's about tension, right? It's just about energetic tension. But we also know that in every opposition, there's opportunity, right? So this is an opportunity for you to be able to harness that Mars energy and square it off of those big three that are hanging out, right? You have an opportunity. Why, hello, I saw that Emperor first, so we're going to take him. We have an opportunity to put that energy into action, to implement our transformation, to help that growth, right? It really just depends. Astrology is always about your will superseding your tendencies. And so we can talk about challenging energies, but you always have the opportunity to choose better, to choose more wisely, to choose utilization, especially with these big planets in Capricorn, right? You don't have to default to any kind of victim status, even though the pressure is great right now. You can decide to take control of what's happening in your world. You can decide to utilize that energy in your karmic transformations, right? That decision, those decisions are always available to you, especially with that Aries Mars energy, right? You don't have to be a victim to this energy. You get to make good choices. So on Tuesday, Mercury's going retrograde, right? And Mercury's going retrograde all the way up until the day of the U.S. election. Very exciting. So Mercury's going retrograde in Scorpio. Okay, so that's going to be all about old things, right? We're already digging up the past, right? So this is going to be, again, what lies hidden again on the deep level, right? Scorpio energy is about union. Scorpio energy is about transformation anyway. So it's about digging up things from your past, right? Those emotional betrayals, secrets, misunderstandings, right? And having an opportunity to really recreate that energy, to transform and transmute that energy. Mercury retrograde will ask you to reassess and reevaluate and revisit all of those things. And so you have, again, an opportunity to do those things, especially with this moon in Virgo, right? Coming up on Venus. This is a time when you have an opportunity to revisit things. You know, Mercury retrograde, we talk about it as being challenging time, but it's elbow room, right? It's breathing space. So use it, right? Use it. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing, right? On Thursday, the Sun squares Pluto, and that is going to be just like this week, we had Mars squaring Pluto, right? So the Sun is going to square Pluto, and that again is when you might have some self-destructive behaviors, when you might dredge up some things from your own past and try to play victim to them. Well, again, you can use that energy to create positive, lasting change, right? You don't have to be the victim of it. On Friday, we have a new moon, right? This is Libra new moon meeting Libra sun. And so this is about contracts and relationships and balance and healing and an inner and outer balance, right? So this is a really opportune time, if you so choose, to use that energy to balance out the beginning of this week and the end of this week and the beginning of this month and the end of this month, right? It is no secret that we had that big full moon at the beginning of October, and then we have a giant full moon on Halloween that is exactly conjunct Uranus. I mean, that's a big deal. So it makes perfect sense that we have this Libra new moon in the middle of this, look at the glyph of Libra, right? It's the scales. So think about this new moon as the balance, the stand that's holding up the scales, right? And we've got one full moon on one side, one full moon on the other, this illumination, right? Nothing left in the dark, no shadows. We've got a Scorpio Mercury retrograde. We've got all these big squares, right? Asking us, demanding actually of us that there's nothing left hidden, that we have to dig it all up. We have to deal with it, right? And so use this new moon to get very, very intentional, very specifically intentional, and create from it, right? Create from it. On Sunday, Saturn is going to square the sun. And so that's about personal restrictions, feeling those restrictions. But again, what we know about Saturn is that Saturn is making the choice to have those internal boundaries, right? We choose our own boundaries so that we do not feel put upon by external boundaries. So it's about pulling in that balance. And again, this is a revisiting of that square from April. So check in with the last 6 months. What has been delayed? What has been your challenges? Have there been any setbacks? Where were your speed bumps, right? Where did you experience that slowdown? And really use this as a time to get intentional with what you've been doing for the last 6 months and how you have either created erroneous restrictions or how you need to create different restrictions, or how you restricted things from your life and now you need to add them back, right? This is a time of creation. This is where our alchemy and our alchemical potential comes in. We get to recreate it now in this big giant energetic chaos, right? What comes, and it comes because we've invited it, and so it's time to pay attention. We also have a Venus-Neptune opposition, right? So things can be a little foggy or a little dreamy, depending on how you choose to look at it. This is really about finding your footing in the present, right? Finding your footing in the present and knowing what is real and what is not, what you chose as real, what might not have been real. Yeah, there's just so much going on. Let's look at the cards and see. So on Monday, we've got the Fool and the Six of Swords, right? So the Fool is the 0 card. This is all about new journeys, right? He's off. He's taking that leap of faith, right? We know Pluto just went direct, Saturn just went direct. This is that faith walk. This is trusting the universe. This is, I've got everything I need right here because I don't need much, right? I know what my priorities are. My priorities are all about what I have that can bloom, my heart, my love, my passion. And I have everything I need. I'm fearless and I'm taking off. Six of Swords is about moving away. It's a card of transition, right? It's about moving from emotional turbulence to emotional stability. So this again is about trusting the journey, right? And knowing that where we're headed is exactly where we're supposed to be headed. And that if it isn't, we get to steer and steer again as we walk in faith, right? We know that we have that possibility. We've got that big T-square with Sun opposite Mars. We have the energy at our disposal to make this a time of transition to exactly where we want to go. Exactly. So let's look at Tuesday. This is Mercury retrograde day, okay? So the Seven of Cups can either be a card of illusion, right? There's so much happening. Or it can be a card of fantasy, daydream, a card of knowing that you have many, many options. We're going to choose that because that follows this Fool energy so beautifully. Especially because that Sun-Mars opposition is giving us a lot of extra energy, right? And Mercury's going retrograde in Scorpio. In addition, we've got the sun that's clarifying here. So we're not going to look at this as, oh my goodness, we're overtaken by our illusions. This is, I have every potential open to me, right? I can choose to look past those old hurts and betrayals. I can choose my new journey. I can choose to move away from that emotional turbulence because I have nothing but limitless choices. And I have nothing but guaranteed bliss, right? I have nothing but guaranteed joy. This is the happiest card in the deck, right? This is jackpot, right? So you can choose to use Mercury retrograde as that time to really assess how blessed and fortunate you are, if you so choose, right? So Wednesday, we've got the Two of Pentacles, and he's popping up a lot, isn't he? So this is about adaptability, multitasking, really understanding that we are surfing, right? But that we've got this. We've got it. We don't have to really worry about it. We are well versed in our polarities. We know exactly where we stand, right? And we stand on firm ground. Even though there might be some emotional unrest, we've got this. We've got it. And the Page of Swords is all about being open to that wisdom, right? Being open to new ideas, being open to whatever these pentacles represent, right? And never really getting fixed or stuck in past beliefs, but knowing that new beliefs come and they can just be seamlessly added to the lexicon, right? We don't have to worry about that. So Thursday's the day that the sun is squaring Pluto. So it seems very fitting that we get the Eight of Wands, right? This is about rapid forward motion. So again, though, this day is about a risk of self-destructive behaviors, self-destructive power plays, self-destructive dredging up of the past. So the King of Pentacles, this guy is about watching and waiting and knowing that he has what it takes to act when the time is right, right? He's well resourced and he's not in a hurry. He doesn't need to be in a hurry because he is certain of his place. He's certain of his game, right? He knows, here we're juggling, right? But we don't have to be in a hurry. We don't have to be in a hurry. Certainly we don't. And when the time is right, that's when we move. We don't have to be rushed. We don't have to feel pressure, right? The King of Pentacles, he's never in a hurry. He's calling the shots, very much so. Friday, this is our day of new moon, right? So what a gorgeous pair of cards for that day. Again, this is a double Libra new moon. So the moon and the sun are both conjunct in Libra, right? Libra is about balance and harmony and the blending of two things into one, right? So we have two choices wrapped up in the world. We've made our choice. It's an emotional choice, right? We're looking out over the water. We know we've made the correct choice. We've made it. It's clearly the superior choice because we trusted, right? We did all this. We did our trustings. And the magician, what does the magician tell us? Well, the magician tells us that no matter what we choose, we have all of the resources at our disposal, right? He is the master of all realms. He is the master of the eternal, right? We're reflecting our certainty in our ability, our never needing to rush, our knowing that what's coming is coming, right? And knowing that what we intend is already ours, right? So this is a beautiful pull for Thursday, or for Friday, I mean, for that new moon. Absolutely. So again, this is all about being that support for the scales instead of being upended by the gravity or the ballast in either side, right? Hey. So Saturday, Saturday is going to be a day of, so we're coming out of that new moon, right? We're moving into that Sun square Saturn. Okay, so Saturn is that Emperor energy, right? Saturn is all about knowing that you've got this, right? The Emperor is all of the kings rolled into one. So this is about knowing how to manage your passions. It's about knowing how to manage your ideas. It's about knowing how to manage your resources. It's about knowing how to manage your emotions. So as the Sun squares Saturn, when you really think that you might want to feel restricted, remember that you have chosen this path. You have chosen your path at every step, and you have the power to choose again. This is the wisdom of Saturn, right? There's never a need to feel restricted. There's never a need to feel like you made a bad choice, because you always have the power to choose again. This is what Saturn teaches us, right? Saturn is about karma, the consequence of your choice. But Saturn is also about your freedom and sovereignty to choose, right? That is your divine right. It's your birthright. It's what you're here to do. So the only delays, the only setbacks, the only restrictions you have are those that you choose for yourself, right? It's like throwing tack strips in your own way and then wondering why your tires blow. This Emperor is asking you to step in, right? Step into those intentions, to know what's coming, right? And to know that you've created it, all of it. It's all yours, right? And then on Sunday is the day that Saturn really moves into that really big square. So we've got the King of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, right? So we're bouncing back again from April, right? We're learning a lesson. We're closing a cycle, completing a circuit. So the King of Pentacles, again, we've got our King of Pentacles again. We know we're well resourced. We know that all of this culminates in our own abundance, in our own ability to choose and provide and be and do, right? To hold this space as the King of Pentacles. And what we know about Pentacles are that Pentacles represent our resources, right? And so our resources can be tangible or intangible. They can be the things that we require in 3D, or they can be the things that we require like esteem and love, right? Love is just as important as your house. Knowing that you are loved is just as important as the car you drive. You know, the way that you feel about yourself is just as important as the food that you have on your table. You have to have that balance of tangible and intangible resources. And that King of Pentacles reminds us, right, as Venus and Neptune oppose one another, right, we have that 3D and that divine sense of love. That's an important opposition, right? Because you have to have both sides of that coin. You've got to have the tangibles, but you have to have the intangibles as well. And again, bouncing that back from April, where have you made choices about things? Where have you made choices about things that are more important than things, right? And the Three of Cups, this is a card of celebration, right? This is about celebration, and being in that blessed knowledge and awareness of love. So this is really the culmination, right, of these energies. And again, Again, just like all of our messaging, this is about really getting in touch with what matters, with what is important, with that sense of heartfelt, spirit-led path. All right, so we've got number 34, a leg up. All right, let's see what this little polar bear has to tell us. Receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during the next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that help so that aid is freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. You must allow people to support you, just as you are there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust. You will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask, and it is given. So this is about knowing that everything that you need is given to you, right? Faith walk. Knowing that you have the time and space you need, knowing that you have the abilities you need, and that all the ideas will come to you at the right time, knowing that you're perfectly resourced, knowing that you have that mastery, knowing that you are the summation of your choices, and trusting yourself to make those choices, both about things real and things extra real. I don't want to say surreal because that's not quite right. And that's how you earn, Saturn, your celebration, right? That's how you earn it. And knowing that help always comes to you when you require it, right? We know this. We know we don't go it alone. We know that our faith is the most important thing, right? Our faith is what leads us in every single pairing here, knowing that it's all about spirit-led. Again, this is a really big week. This is about not slamming on the brakes, but coasting, right? And allowing the universe to fill in the blanks, allowing the universe to support you where it's required, allowing the universe to bring you that celebration, right? Allowing the universe to lead your polarities to show you where they stop, where they start, where you are along that spectrum, and knowing how to mitigate your movement and not just charge forward, you know, but to know that things are coming in for you. And when they do, you're ready, right? You're ready because you have been preparing, right? You've been doing the work. And that is everything, especially at this time. Yep, it's going to be a big week, guys. I would say the key words for this week are karma and balance, and patience, and perspective, and faith. Yeah. As always, keep breathing. Keep breathing. We've got a few more weeks to go before it starts getting a little better. Just trust it. And big blessings this week. Take it easy out there.